said the quote about religion protects you from having a religion experience. What does that mean? What's a religion experience?
So, Dostoevsky's in the prison after getting arrested by the Tsar's men. And then at 6 in the morning, after a couple of weeks in his cell, they take him out into the courtyard and shoot him with blanks. Yeah, that moment when he's standing there before he's going to be shot, that's a religious experience. And the thing is, it overwhelmed him to such a degree that it basically, well, it gave him epilepsy. It's like there's a reason, say, that in the Old Testament God is represented as the burning bush. It's like, don't get too close to that stuff. It's too much. The reality that transcends your models. Forget about personified representations of the deity for the time being. The reality that transcends your models is sufficient so that if you're exposed to it in an untrammeled manner, it will hurt you. It might destroy you. And it's not a trivial sort of objective experience. It's like the awe that a rat feels when it's trapped in the corner by a very large cat. Its hair stands up. You know, when you feel awe, what happens? Your hair stands on end. Yeah, well, there's a reason for that. It's like the remnants of a prey response. So,
could it also be enlightenment?
Yeah, but who wants that? You know, because your New Age types and your Joseph Campbells, they say, well, you know, enlightenment, it's all good. It's like, forget that. Believe me, if it was all good, people would be doing it. It's not all good. And that's one of the major differences, say, between the Jungians and the New Age people. The New Age people say, follow your bliss. It's like, yeah, right. The Jungians say, look, follow what you're interested in. It will take you places you do not want to go. And you're not getting anywhere till you go those places. And so everyone takes one look and says, hey, no, that theory's wrong. It's like, it's not wrong. It's just very, very difficult. So enlightenment is down first and then up. And the more enlightened you want to get, the more you go down before you go up.
So enlightenment will be you passing that religious experience?
That's a harder question. I think part of what enlightenment is not hiding behind the shields of your tentative belief systems. That's one way of thinking about it. Another way of thinking about it, I think, is that if you're engaged in a conversation with someone with whom you disagree, the more you're enlightened, the more you'll listen to them. Because otherwise you have to prove to them that the way you look at the world is correct. Well, that's not an enlightened stance. That's a dogmatic and totalitarian stance. It's like, I'm right, here's why. It's like, fine, except if I'm right, I already know what I'm right about. And if you disagree with me, there's always the possibility that you know something I don't. Like, horrifying as that possibility is. So listening to you would be a good idea. And so then another way of thinking about that is, and you can think about this yourselves. What's your friend? What you know or what you don't know? And part of identifying with the process of transformation instead of the stages of it is to understand that what you don't know is a more reliable friend than what you know. First of all, there's a lot of it. You're not going to run out. And second, every time you encounter it successfully, the world becomes a more comprehensible place and you become a more powerful force. So, you know, you could be running around all the time looking for little things that you don't know. Makes you tough and awake. And if you're tough and awake, maybe you don't have to believe things to make sense out of life. Maybe your life is so damn rich that you think, yeah, well, you know, suffering, disease, death, tyranny, all that. It's like, yeah, well, I can deal with that. I don't want to wish it away, even though I'd rather it wasn't there. That's not the point. It's like, I can have my eyes open and see that, and still think, no, this is worth continuing.